forget the Commodore. This is Holden's most important new model.
It's the all-new Equinox. It has massive potential for the brand, but it faces some serious competition. Steve, what's your first impression?
I've got to say I'm actually pleasantly surprised. This new model is a big step forward for Holden, and you know, I'm impressed. It is a Chevrolet ultimately underneath, but Holden has been involved for quite a long time in the development process, and you can kind of see those touches. I guess the big one is the interior. This is the top of the range LTZ-V. You know, you get a lot of stuff. There's a lot of equipment in this car, there's no doubt about it, but are you that impressed by the actual interior presentation?
Look, the whole car, visually, I don't think it's the most stylish SUV I've seen, but it looks like a practical family car, and that's what Holden's aspiring to do. The interior, yeah, you can see the leather seats, you can see that it's top end, but it doesn't look luxury to me. It looks dull, to be honest, and you can see some of the plastics as well.
Yeah, that to me is what gets me. I think it's some of these plastics. It just looks a little flat. It doesn't look particularly premium, and I think, you know, you're paying over $45,000 for this SUV. You know, I just want a little bit more pizzazz to the interior. It just feels, you know, the dashboard, the infotainment system, it just feels a little
bland.
Yeah, a little bland. Yeah, almost a little too American for my taste. I think for Australian taste, you know.
At least there's no full brake.
Yeah, it has got the electric park brake, but I have got to say, I am impressed by the space. It is a really spacious cabin for this class of vehicle. The back seat especially is really roomy. Even as an adult, you know, I can sit quite comfortably back there. Well,
I think in terms of competing with space, it's up there with the Tiguan and the Honda CR-V, which have the roomiest passenger spaces that you could get virtually. And the boot space, however, I think it's probably the biggest boot I've seen. I actually have to climb inside it to put a child seat on, which I don't have to do with many. So I think that to me tells me it's a pretty big boot.
Yeah, definitely. From a practicality point of view, Holden and Chevrolet have really hit the nail on the head.
And even things like this, Steve, you can open this up, you can fit a massive handbag in there, you could fit probably a full bottle of water. So space is covered, you've got USB points everywhere, wireless charging, it ticks all those boxes.
Yeah. It's even got a couple of USB ports in the back seat and like a household power outlet, so you can, you know, charge the kids' tablets or whatever when you're on the move, so you don't have to, you know, have them fight and argue in the back seat. But one of the other big things is the way it drives. So I guess I should give you a turn behind the wheel.
Yep, for sure.
So Danny, the LTZ-V, just to get through the big name, does get the bigger 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and a 9-speed automatic transmission. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good engine, and I don't mind the new 9-speed auto. It is relatively smooth. This is a fairly heavy car, but it goes really well in traffic, keeps up with everyone. You can maneuver confidently, you know, changing lanes. It's really good to drive.
Yeah, I think that's the key for this car actually is, and Holden in general, this is a key to Holden's future in Australia, is they may not be making cars here, but they will be tuning their cars. So they've got their famous proving ground down in Victoria, where they've developed, you know, the Commodore for decades and decades. Well, now they're going to use that, the facility they've got down there, which, you know, simulates Australian roads. They're going to tune these cars, these imported models. So for, you know, Holden, I think they've actually done a really good job on the ride and handling of this car. It actually, you know, I think it rides really well, it's comfortable, but it's still got good body control for an SUV.
Look, the other thing is, you know, you've got a whole heap of advanced safety gear. They do have this new feature though, it's a driver's seat alert. So if there's a forward collision warning or it senses something, the seat vibrates. What did you make of that?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I am not a fan. I think it feels weird. It's very shocking, which I guess, you know, the idea is to really alert the driver, but to me I just find it a little bit unsettling because it's actually a very sensitive system. I think the forward collision especially is very sensitive, even just driving around here at these low speeds. You know, it's detecting parked cars and buzzing, you know, which... There we go. It just feels, you know, like it's a bit overactive and quite frankly, stop touching my bum.
Look, it is quite sensitive, I agree with you, but you know, I guess it's good that Holden is looking out for your safety. You know, there's other nice little touches, like when you turn the car off, it reminds you to look in the rear seats.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
Yeah, look, I think they've done a good job. So I guess, you know, the all-important question, has it won you over? Would you buy an Equinox?
Truthfully, I think it's a serious contender. I don't know how well suited it would be for someone like me, because
Yeah.
I have a small family. I only have one child. For a family with, you know, with 3
Yeah.
children or more, I think that this would definitely be worth considering, just because of the boot space, the space in the rear. You know, in terms of practicality, if you're wanting something practical, then this should be right up there.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think, you know, Holden, it was really important for Holden to get this car right, because it is so, you know, crucial to their potential success in the future. And you know what? I think they've nailed it. I think they've done a really good job. Look, it's not perfect. There's a couple of areas where I think they can be improved, but overall, I think it's a really polished package.
Yep.